I'm Emmanuel and welcome to my workbench. Today I will be hunting pennies. I got a whole bunch of pennies from the bank. I was lucky enough that when I got my box of quarters, they also gave me a whole whack of pennies. So this week and next week will be penny videos. So I have 20 rolls here. I find that because of all of the scoping and whatnot, 20 rolls is all I can do in one sitting. So we'll get to that. But there are some rolls that I will not be opening. I got a whole bunch of rolls here. What is it? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 rolls that they seem to be uncirculated double date 1992 pennies. And these are common enough. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably keep a couple for myself. I'll look at to see which ones are the best. And if there are any that have heads on both sides, like this one has a head on both sides, these I'll set aside and I'll open just in case that they're not the 1992s, and I'll set those aside and do these at the beginning of the video right away. But let's go to the intro, and I'll bring you in on the state of my book. And here we are with the book. I am always open to taking suggestions from my subscribers, and one subscriber did comment that the part of the video where I go through my books is a little bit longer than it needs to and a little bit repetitive video to video. So what I've decided to do is for the completed books, I'm not going to show them. There might be some missing holes here and there, but what I will do is I will show the one with the most missing coins. So for the pennies, it is this first book here. We are looking for let's see here. It's pretty much filled. There's varieties here in 1953 and 1947 that I'm looking for. This page is looking pretty good. So really we're looking for early 40s, 42, 41, and anything up to the 1920s. So let's hope that the other rolls will have some nice oldies in here. So let's get right to it. I'm going to open these live. So this is one of the mint rolls that is double-headed. So let me see if I can't get this open quickly. I'll probably just open one because they were all bundled together. And if this is indeed a uncirculated mint roll from 1992, I will take the opportunity naturally to upgrade, to take the best one out of this roll, the best two I should say, and upgrade my main book as well as upgrading my my coin roll hunt folder as well. I'll check online to see if any of these, if there's any premium as well to, let me get some scissors here. If there's any premium to these coins in MS condition. I don't know how cashiers do it for these, ooh, blew up here. How they do it for these plastic wrapped ones. There you go. I guess you have to turn them sideways. Let's get rid of all of this plastic. So yes, this does seem to be uncirculated 1992s. Look at that. Double dates. So I will set all of these rolls aside, keep a couple for myself. I usually keep a couple of mint wrap rolls if I can find them, and I will take the two best examples out of here and update my books. So let's go right to the hunt, and I'll bring you in on my first find. Roll one. I have a few that I've taken out to scope, which I'll do at the end of the video. I did find a rock dove. There are versions of this that have doubling on it, so I'll scope it at the end. I did find a 1949 King George VI, which is awesome. And I have 2, 4, 6, 7 American pennies in this roll. Now, I did look at these 1992s, and in an MS 63, they're worth $1, and in an MS 67, I think they're upwards of $50, so I might be holding on to all of these rolls. I'll see if I get, I might try my hand at getting some of these certified. Now, I did go and explore some eBay sold items on eBay, and they seem to be averaging at about, they vary between $1 to $8 for MS63, MS64, but there's only 2 that have been recorded to be sold, so we'll see. Maybe I'll just sell these on my Facebook trading groups for uncirculated rolls as a whole, and see if I can make a nice amount of money that way. I don't expect to be rich, but maybe I could sell each roll for $10. That would be awesome. Anyways, so let's go on to roll number 2. Roll 2, we have 4 more pennies that have dates that have potential doubling on them, so those will be scoped at the end. And I have a first young head of the hunt, a 1963, as well as a 1951, another King George VI. That is awesome. Roll 4, we have a whole bunch more from 1976 to 1979 that need to be scoped for doubling. We have another American. This is a 1982 Denver. I think that's the year that they transitioned from copper to zinc coins as well. And this is a 1963 young head, our second young head over here. So let's put these aside. Roll 5, we have 2 more Americans, but we have an oldie here, a 1959 Denver. Roll 6, we have 3 more young heads, the oldest being a 1953. And we have a 62 and a 64. And 3 more to be scoped at the end of the video. I think I'm going to stop reporting on these. I'll just continue setting those aside. So let's go on to the next roll. Roll 7, I just emptied it out here on my workbench, and it looks like we have a roll made up completely of American pennies. So let's go right through them very quickly. Naturally, I will have a look. These are all American, so 50 more Americans to the board. I will look at all of these at the end of the video. Roll 10, we have another rock dove, 1967. We'll set aside for the scope for doubling, and another young head. This one is a 1961. Roll 12, 2 more Americans, another rock dove that needs to be scoped for doubling, as well as another young head, this one from 1963. Roll 13, we have another young head, this one from 1963, and a weavy. Now, some of the Americans I didn't flip over to their reverse side to see if they were Wheaties, but this one is from 1953 Denver. Awesome. Roll 14, we have 1 more American, and we have another rock dove that I have to check for doubling. This is a 1967. And 2 young heads, another 1963, as well as another 1961. Roll 16, 3 more Americans and 2 more young heads. We have a 1964 and a 1963. Roll 17, 1 more American and 1 more young head. This one is from 1964. Roll 18, we have 3 more Americans and a King George VI. This one is 1942. Awesome. Roll 20, final roll. We have our last young head, 1963. Goes over here. You know what? Let's do a bonus. I got also some loose pennies in here. We'll do the loose pennies next. Here are the loose pennies, and it looks like most of them are American. So let's see here. We got 1 Canadian over here. Let's take out the Canadians. Let's see, is that it? That is it. So in the Canadians, we don't have anything special over here. Let me have a quick look. Just a 2006. Is it magnetic? Yes, it is. So nothing special about that. And so we're at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30, 2, 4, 6. So 36 more Americans to the board. All right, with the 50 American cents that I removed off of the board, plus we have another, what, 58 here. So we found 108 Americans in this 20 roll plus an envelope of loose change. I have over here a whole stack of coins that need to be scoped because they're known to have double date varieties. And we got some nice King Georges that I'll look against the album. So the very next thing I'm going to do is, now I'll be honest, I don't take the time to look for any doubling on American pennies. I don't have any succinct list that tells me what is common enough that I can find. So I just look to see if they upgrade any of my book, the spots in my book, or especially if there's any Wheaties that'll fill a hole in my book. So I'll do that after. Let's go, I'll bring these over to my computer and we'll go ahead and scope them, and I'll only show you the ones that have any doubling that I might find. All right, here we are on the scope. The first find is this doubled 1969. Let me see if I can get a little pointer. You can see the doubling just at the 9 and the 6 and the 9 and the 1 over here. If you know it's doubling, if you rotate it and it doesn't go anywhere, it's not a reflection. In the United States, you would call this machine doubling, but this is what we call doubling in Canada. So I don't know if I have one of these yet. The second one I have is, I found two 1979s with doubling, very light doubling. This one has light doubling on the 9, right over the 9 over here. You can see the bottom and the right side of the 9 has a little bit of doubling over there. And the other 1979 is similar, with doubling on the outside of the 9 over here, a little bit on the bottom of the 7. Yeah. And the other find I have is this 1965. Now there's two things to look for in the 1965, whether it's the blunt 5 or the pointed 5, though this one looks pointed because it has a serif at the end right there. This is considered a blunt 5. But the two varieties to look for, the common variety is the large beads, and the rarer variety, or the less common variety, is the small beads. So the small bead variety, you look at the 2 over here, and if there is a bead in between, such that this is the small 2 variety. So that this one is less common. The blunt 5, 1965, that I see here on Numista online, this one goes for about 11 cents. For the more common variety is the small beads pointed 5. So that one, this one is the one to look for the small beads blunt 5. Awesome. Now, do you think this is for those of you who know Canadian coins, do you consider this a pointed 5? Because I'm looking at pictures online here, and if it has that bottom serif over here, if it has that serif where it dips down, I'm looking on pictures here on Numista, and that clearly says that this is a blunt 5. So there you go. This is a cool find. Small beads, blunt 5. I'll show you a common, this is a 1965 here as well, but this is the most common variety. Again, you see that this is the 1965 blunt 5. It has that little serif at the end, and this is what it looks like for the large beads. You can actually see the size of the beads are bigger, but you'll see that the 2 doesn't align with a bead on the center there. The beads are kind of evenly spaced between the 2. This is the more common variety. This one is just worth a little bit more than face value, just 2 pennies, 2 cents for that common variety. Now for my American pennies, I have recently upgraded my books to these Whitman coin folders, which I much prefer these albums over the small folders. I'm slowly upgrading them to when I can find a good price on them online. They're hard to get here in Canada, so maybe on a future visit to the States I'll stock up on these. But anyways, just to show you, this one starting in 1996. These are pretty much complete. All I'm missing is the proofs, of course, which you don't really find in circulation. But I go all the way to the 2022. I don't have 2023s and 2024s just yet. So this one is pretty much complete. And the one that'll have spots to fill will be will be this one over here, which starts in 1909 for the initial issuing of the Lincoln Cent. Now, I'm going to go backwards over here. You can see that the S proofs started in looks like in 1980 over here, 1978. Yeah, these are all proofs over here. 1975, the S minted ones are all proofs. I don't have these. And starting over here is the ones that I'm going to look for. So this is going to give me some good indication as to what is the more common ones to look for. The 1972 DDO, 1970 S large date, 1960 D small date. So those are the ones that I'm missing. And then when you get over here, the famous 1955 double date, and then I'm missing a whole bunch starting in the 50s, moving on to the ones that are earlier, lots of them in the 20s over here, and in the teens and the 10s and the teens and the 20s. So let me go through these 100 American pennies, and I'll let you know if there are any cool finds or book fillers. Here we go. Here they are separated by decades. Here's the 2020s. There will be some book fillers. The 2010s, the 2000s, the 1990s, the 1980s, and the 1970s. That's the bulk of the finds here. 1960s, 1950s, 1940, and look at this, 1920. That is awesome. So let me get these sorted and identified as to which are book fillers and the best qualities and upgraders, and I'll come right back. All right, and I'm back and I have my book. Let's see this first one here. It is a 1920. I don't see a mint mark. Now, is the mint mark on the obverse or on the reverse? I believe that it's on the obverse. And so this would make that. This would fit right here on page 1, right over here at the bottom. Let me see, right over there. I don't have one of those, so that is a book filler, a 1920. Glad to have that one. Now let's go to the next one over here. The next oldest one. This one is a 1945 Denver, also a Wheatie. This will be on page 3. 1945 Denver. That is an empty spot as well. That's my second book filler. That is awesome. In it goes. 1945 Denver. That is cool. Now we go into the 50s. So let me sort them out and I'll be right back. All right. There was a 53 Denver, a 56 Denver, a 58 Denver. There were two 59 Denvers and 159, but I believe that this 59 Denver will upgrade the one in my book. For the 60s, I have a 1961 Denver, a 1960, sorry, this is a 1960. I have a 1960 Denver, I have a 1961 Denver, I have a 1963 Denver, and I think this one will upgrade the one in my book. I have a 1964 Denver. Doesn't upgrade in my book. I have 67s, 68s, Denvers, and a 69 Denver, which won't upgrade the one in my book. But I will have to check to see if this is the 1960 small date. Looking at it here, I don't think it is. I believe that this is the large date, but I'll double check offline and I'll come back if it is. But in the meantime, let me upgrade the 1963 Denver over here. All right, from the 70s, I've only kept the nicest ones over here to see if they upgrade in my book. I did look to see if I had a 1970, let me move the book a little lower, a 1970S and 1972s, but I had none of those in the box. So actually, I had no S mint marks at all. So let me just have a look here. This nice one over here is a 74. It upgrades the one in my book. That's very nice. The next page. This one here is a 75. Does not upgrade the one in my book. The 76 looks very nice. And it will upgrade the one in my book. 76 Denver Will not upgrade the one in my book. I have a 77 Denver. Doesn't upgrade my book. I have a really nice 78 Denver. This one will upgrade the one in my book. This one is just a regular 78, which does not upgrade the one in my book. And I'm looking at the 79 and 79 Denver in my book over here. I don't think either of these will upgrade. So 3 more upgrades that I will put in my book offline, and we'll come to the 80s next. All right, in the 80s, I have 6 upgrades. This 1982 copper large date Denver. This 1987 Philadelphia and Denver, 1988 Philadelphia and Denver, and 1989 Philadelphia. All upgrade the ones in my book. These are like blazers. I'm really happy to have them. So I'll do that. I'll put those in my book. And we'll go to the 1990s next. All right, nothing in the 1990s or the 2000s or the 2010s. However, I do have a 2023 Denver, which is a book filler and goes right here. And I also have a 2024 Philadelphia, which is also a book filler and goes right here. It is impressive to find a brand new circulating penny in this hunt. That is awesome. Let me put this away and I'll be right back. I'm back to put the upgraded 1992 from the uncirculated roll in the book. I'm saving this one for my main book. So we have a 1942, a 1949, a 1951, and a 1953. So let's go look to see if they fill a spot in the book. So 1953, I'm looking for the shoulder fold. I'll have to go and scope this one. And 1951, we don't need. 1949 we don't need as well, and 1942. 1942 is a book filler. Look at that. That is awesome. So let me go check this, scope this 1953, and we'll see if it's the shoulder fold version that I'm looking for or not. All right, we are back here at the scope looking at this 1953. We are looking for the shoulder fold variety, and for that we're going to come over here, and what we're looking for is no serifs on the I and the E and the D. And we can see here that all of these have serifs. We can also look to see where this I points, that this I points between 2 denticles. So this is the more common 1953 no shoulder fold. So it will not be a book filler. Well, that is it for this hunt. I have my brand new uncirculated 1992 to put in my main book over here. My young heads, 61, 62, 63s, and 64s over here, plus some of these other oldies that I'm going to be keeping. All of the Wheaties that I found that were not book fillers I keep as well. I have flipped my double dates, so 279 double dates, 165 small beads blunt 5, and 169 double date, which is awesome. And that is it for this hunt. Next week we'll do another penny hunt, so stay tuned for that. But for this month, for the month of November, the giveaway will be these 2 loonies featuring Anne of Green Gables author L.M. Montgomery, the 1 million minted uncolorized version and the 2 million minted colorized version. And all you have to do to be eligible to win these coins is leave a comment down below, and I will happily draw a name and send these coins to you anywhere in the world to a lucky winner. Well, I hope you enjoyed this penny hunt. I did. And if you did, give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click on my logo over here to subscribe. And here is a video that you might enjoy, as well as a playlist of other penny hunts. Until next time, thanks for watching.